really good the other day when you did that. You sent me that. Do you still have that guitar?
No, I don't. It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it sounded great.
It's nice because the middle position, unlike a normal Gibson dual P90 guitar, the out of phase or the middle position is actually out of phase, so it's hum canceling. It sounds really nice.
So the normal isn't, because I think my Paul Reed Smith is.
It might be, yeah.
Because it's quiet when I put it in. Hey, Aslan. So we're gonna do that guitar roulette with Alex here. Oh, I should put with Alex Strahle. Yeah, let me just add another. Let's see. What am I text? Okay. Yeah, whatever. With Alex. Now, do I have how many fonts? I never even look at the other fonts. What font do you want?
Don't ask me that.
Zap.
Zapting bats.
Yeah, Zach.
Classic.
Hey, Bruce.
Hey, people are...
Well, let's see how many we got in there. God, there's not that many to choose from. I don't even know what some of these fonts are. I can't even see them. Oh, wait, we go like this, and I can see. Oh, okay. Like that, okay. Oh, that's kind of fun. What the heck? Okay. Where'd you go? Oh, there you are. The heck font is that? It's Alex Strahle, the ghost.
It's beautiful.
He's ghosting us. Okay. Let's get rid of that font. Probably should just go with the regular. I don't even know what the regular.
Helvetica guy? Probably.
Let's go. Yeah, probably. Well, why is it acting all weird now?
You might need to up the font size.
No, let's see. Helvetica. Let me just go to Helvetica and see. Okay. Now it's acting all funny. See that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Make the font bigger.
I'll just delete it and start over again.
Or that.
Remove. Yes. Okay. So let's add.
Hi, guys.
Isn't this exciting? It's like an episode of CSI. Okay, we'll just stick with that. And I'm going to drag this down and make Alex smaller.
There we go. Perfection.
There we go. Look at that.
It's like a TV show.
It's like a real TV show. Hey, Pepper, what's going on? Ed's here. Hey, Ed, good to see you. How many do we have? We have 13. Okay, it's because this is not my normal time. Nobody's expecting this. So who happens to log on to YouTube today and sees I'm live? So here's the premise here. Alex is going to bring me a random guitar. I don't know what he's bringing me. It could be any instrument. It doesn't have to be a guitar. And then I'm going to talk about it or say how I got it. Or he's got stories about some of these guitars too. And we'll see if they're the same story. Same thing when he was like, okay. So he's going to leave. He's going to bring me something. And it could be something from in here too. There's lots of guitars in here. I got to get more storage. I'm running out of places to hang guitars and all that, so I can hear them rooting around in one of the closets. Is everyone well today? Hopefully. Oh, first guitar. Oh, all right. Well, I got this at Guitar Center. Did I not?
No.
Oh, you remember I got this?
I do remember how you got that. Yes.
Okay. The Laravey. All right.
And I remember other memories surrounding it.
Well, so this is a Laravey Parlor guitar that I use as a high string. And I've done... And I could break this G string. I want to snap my G string. And what a high string guitar is, is you take the bottom 4 strings and you put skinny strings on and take it up an octave. The easiest way to do that is just to go and buy a 12-string set and then take every other string and go put one set on a normal guitar, you just want to have it strung normally, and then put the other strings on another guitar and you'll end up with a high strum. So if you remember, a 12-string is octaves, octave, 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 and in unison, unison. So these bottom 4 strings are up an octave from where they normally are, and then the top 2 strings are normal. So the reason you would do this is maybe to give a track a nice bright sound. But also it sounds great when you start picking it. You get these clusters that you couldn't normally get. So now my recollection about where I got this guitar, I think I bought it purely to be a high strum.
No.
I did not.
You didn't buy it.
I didn't buy it? Oh, that's right.
There you go.
It was a birthday present.
Yeah, okay, so the memory I have of it actually goes back before you even had it. And we were playing at camp. Remember this?
Yeah.
And there was another guitar player at that camp that had a really nice Laravey, like a high-end Laravey.
Okay.
And I remember you really liking that guitar and telling Mom I really liked that guitar.
Oh, funny.
And so she was like, "Oh, I'm going to surprise him and get him a Laravey for his birthday." She ended up buying like just a budget one, like a cheap one. That one was probably like $3,000 or something. But
yeah, this is like $300 I think at the time.
yeah, it was $300 to $600, something like that. It wasn't super expensive. But she bought it with cash because she didn't want you, because you always spoil your birthday presents.
Because I would be like perusing the credit card statements.
And she went to the point of, we used to have these like big white like closet storage units.
Yeah, yeah.
And she went, remember when you could get to the kind of side of it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And there was like, she put it back there, and you went snooping around, and you found it before your birthday. You absolutely did.
I don't remember snooping around, but maybe I was thinking about rebuilding the closet.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, she would keep presents for me in her trunk, her car trunk, because she knew I wouldn't look in there. Yeah, that's actually, I wish I'd remembered that this was a gift, because that's kind of a bummer to not remember a gift, you know?
Yeah, well,
but I know now.
Yeah, you remember now. But yeah, at least that's my memory. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what that was.
And I'm pretty sure I made it a high strum almost immediately.
You did. Yeah, it was immediate, because you had enough nice acoustics at that point. You had the Dove and the Loudon and the Taylor.
I had 3 acoustics at this point, so it's kind of dusty. Let me see if I can... Okay, so that's kind of cool. Oh, we got any questions? Oh, Mugu is here.
Answer your questions.
Yes, this is really live.
Here,
Mugu.
I'll take that.
Okay.
Put it back in the case, and I'll grab you the next one.
Let's see. I don't see any questions though.
Well, that's good.
Well, it's because I'm like 3.5 hours or 6.5 hours later than I normally am. So maybe somebody in Australia can actually tune in. Because what time is it in Australia? Mugu. For some reason, I think of you as being in India, but I don't know why. I try to remember where everybody is, but I can't. I'm usually bad. Aslan, I don't know that I ever knew, but for some reason, I think Michigan. Because sometimes I feel like you talk to Sam about stuff in Michigan. So the premise is Alex is bringing me. Oh, okay, yeah. Oh man, I remember this. Were you with me when I bought this?
I was.
Were you really? You remember where we got it?
Yeah, was it a Sam Ash?
Sam Ash out in Ontario.
Yeah, it was out there.
Yeah. So this is a. You can see I've got padding here to keep it from ringing. I think I also put a pad under there, or maybe that came like that. There's pad underneath the trapeze. Who knows what this thing sounds like? This has kind of been Emma's guitar for a while. Hey, did you tune it?
No.
Kind of in tune.
It's kind of in the vicinity of tune.
Yeah, it's in the neighborhood of being in tune. Let's see, can I gain this less? I gotta tune it.
Sorry, are you nuts?
Yeah, not good enough. So let me see. Where's that tuner on the right? So this one, I got called to work for a new producer, I guess you could say, that I'd never worked with before. I don't even remember who recommended me. It might have been Pee-wee. And he said he wanted to know if I had any guitars that had kind of a Beatles sound. And I have my Rickenbacker 12-string. So was it? Oops. Yeah, so I get a call for this session to work for this producer I'd never worked with before, and he asked me if I had any Beatles guitars, and I said, yeah, I have one, and I thought, well, this is an excuse to go buy an Epiphone Casino, and it was hard to find one. And the funny thing is I wanted to get a blonde one because that's what the Beatles had. I didn't realize that they actually, both of the ones they played were originally sunburst, and they stripped the finish off. So if you look at the back of the Beatles ones, they're sunburst, but the fronts are, for some reason, they wanted blonde guitars. So they stripped the finish off. On both of them, I think. They're both George and John did that. But yeah, we went to, so we drive all, nobody has one. And finally I find Sam Ash in Ontario, California has one. So I drive all the way out to Sam Ash, brought Alex with me, probably. Yeah, a father-son bonding time, and found this one and bought it. I think it was like $600 or something like that. And then the session got canceled. The guy never called me ever again for anything. So I think I've used this just a few times.
Yeah,
it's not a bad little guitar.
They're great little guitars.
What's your memory? Any memories of it?
I remember going to that store with you and picking it up.
Yeah,
and I remember the story of that session. You buying the guitar in the session ended up getting canceled. It's part of why I picked it, because it's a good story.
Yeah.
I'm going to start thinking about the next one.
You want to take this one with you?
I
can. Otherwise, we're going to have a living room full of guitars.
Yeah. Keep the folks entertained.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the costs of doing business, and it happens to everybody. Anybody who's got their own business, when you get a paycheck, you got a 9 to 5. That kind of thing doesn't really happen. Hey, is that Patrick Russell? Yeah, when you have a 9 to 5 job, you generally always get paid unless the company goes bankrupt or whatever. But there have been times I've got clients that owe me money, thousands of dollars I never ever saw, and it's a drag too, because in those situations, now the client, you may have worked for them 50 times or 110 times or something, and then there's that one time where their client doesn't pay them, or they're out of money, or they're struggling, and they don't pay you, and then they're ashamed to call you, and now this client you used to work for once or twice a year won't call you anymore because they owe you money. And I've actually had a couple clients where I just said, don't worry about it, it's erased, and so in order to keep working with them. So, but yeah. Oh, how much does that sponge behind the bridge? I'm not exactly sure. I think it was just driving me crazy because it was ringing sympathetically like a sitar. And do you want a tuner, Alex?
No. Okay. I roughly ear tuned it.
Okay. Oh goodness. Oh yeah.
Weird, right?
Yeah. This is.
I saw that case and I was like, oh, I haven't seen that guitar in ages.
Yeah, this is the one I used for. I used to use for gypsy jazz stuff because it has a great, almost sounds kind of like it better than. It's got a great acoustic sound.
It's super loud, yeah.
Yeah, so this is a Hofner El Presidente, I believe, or New President Vintage. It's not old in particular. It's 14 of 50. It's actually it was a really beautiful instrument. I kind of struggle with the pickup because the electronics are mounted here, and the output is here, and they just kept disconnecting. And I've got it set up with flat wound strings right now, just because It just makes it sound even better acoustically. I don't remember the rest. No, let's see. Ah, dang it. It's been too long since I played that. Anyway, so I got this from a friend of mine, Bob Sobo, who used to play guitar at my church
That's
with
where
me.
you got it.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember.
Yeah, and so Bob had a lot of gear and a lot of guitars, and he wasn't doing that much playing. And he asked me if I wanted to buy this, and he got it for a pretty good deal because he had an endorsement deal with him. So he sold it to me for pretty much what he paid for it. So it's kind of like I had an endorsement deal with it. And like I said, it's a beautiful instrument. I think it's made in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, Germany. Very well made. Sounds great. Yeah, almost let you pull this out and keep it out. Something's rattling around. Maybe, like I said, the electronics are kind of weird because they're isn't that cool? See how the electronics are in the volume and tone are in the pick guard there. And there's a reason for that. The reason for that is you'll notice that the trapeze is mounted to the bottom of the guitar. The pickup, if you can see, has air in between it, is actually mounted to the neck, and the pick guard is actually mounted to the side of the guitar. So the only thing touching the top of the guitar is the bridge. So that's why it's so loud, because there's no electronics clamping down on it, nothing like that.
Nothing to impede resonance.
What's that?
Nothing to impede resonance.
Yeah. We talked about classical guitars, and you do everything you can to not touch the top or the back of the guitar, and that's kind of what they did here. But yeah, Bob was funny because Bob started playing at my church, and I remember I didn't know he was going to be playing there. I was playing guitar, and the worship leader hired another guitar player, and I walk in and I hear this guy playing really good jazz stuff, and I'm like, what's going on? And all the guitar player insecurities start rising to the top. And I was like, wait a minute, am I being replaced? Why didn't you tell me? And he's, no, Bob's just going to play, guitar too. And so the worship leader wanted two guitar players back then. This was back in the early 2000s. And so Bob stuck around and played when I was leading worship as well. And then he recently passed away of Parkinson's. It's really sad, but I went to see him a couple times. And I think actually this was before he got diagnosed with Parkinson's when I got this, but I think it helped him out that I bought the guitar because I didn't really need this. So, okay, so here you go, Alex. Thank you. Hofner, boy, I haven't seen that guitar in a long time. It is a beautiful guitar though. This is when, Jeff, this is when I smashed the guitars, exactly, over Alex's head. Oh, what did Bruce say? Sorry, I missed what Bruce said. I gotta move this over a little bit. Bruce, what did you say? All right. Yeah, Patrick and I go way back. In fact, Patrick, and I played at Lake Avenue together. Let's see. Oh, hey, Easy's in the house. Thank you, Holly. Yeah, Holly, it's pretty rare. I mean, I'm trying to think of what other instruments I've seen with the electronics mounted on the... Well, it was kind of... I think Gibson did that, too. I just ate a bunch of carrots. Carrots are supposed to be good for your heart and high blood pressure and all that. Oh, you're going the same route with the CBG. Oh, that makes sense because it's a pretty small body, the size of a guitar box. So the more you can resonate out of it, the better. Jam like a beast height. Yeah, I don't know. Jeff, I don't know. Oh, do I? Uh-oh, I have no idea what's coming here. Let's see. Alex is bringing me random instruments. I don't know what's coming. I don't know. Oh my gosh. So this is my third electric.
Third?
Yeah.
What was between... Because the first is the Ibanez 175.
Yeah. Then I had a early 70s Les Paul. And I traded it for this.
Yeah, you might have won in that. These are actually kind of cool.
Yeah,
the Fretless Wonder.
Yeah, this thing. Well, and I had what was his name? Bruce. Bruce, a guitar guy in Indianapolis. Because at the time, I don't know. This is you two do. So.
I can hear it. Well, that's that phase switch.
Yeah, well, it's not a phase.
Is it just a high pass filter?
I don't know. That would be cool. Ooh, gosh, these strings! Holy crap!
Yeah.
But this was I really idolized Lee Ritenour and Larry Carlton. So I wanted to get a 335, but I couldn't really afford one. And I think this was like $300, and I paid $300 for that Les Paul. Back, it belonged to a friend of mine named John Dinwiddie, and he was getting rid of it. And that thing, it was a fretless wonder. It was a really, really low frets, and it came that way, and it was really hard to bend, and the strings just kept sliding out from under you. Then Bruce, what was his name? Dang it! I think he's still around. I recently looked it up. I think he's still got a guitar tech shop in Broad Ripple. I thought he was a lot older than me, but when I was 20, everybody was older than me. So he was probably 24.
I was also just admiring the case to it. I don't think I've ever seen it, but hilariously, this green is. What is this for? Are you sure that's not?
That's the case for it, but it got refinished. The outside got refinished.
But the inside is original, right?
Yeah,
the
original
weird green color.
Yeah, totally.
Super
weird.
Awesome.
Well, and the other thing, I think if you look at it, there actually is there's a wrench that you can tighten these down, so you can clamp these down so you can't turn them. Or you could turn them slowly, or you can loosen them so they're really loose, which obviously wouldn't be a point to it. There were a bunch of things that Ibanez did. This was just post-lawsuit model, so they had to change the headstock. So this is a 79, I believe, which is the year I graduated high school. I don't know that the serial. Oh yeah, it says 179. So I think that means 1979. I'm trying to think of a lyric. Kid Charlemagne.
Yeah.
Charlemagne. Oh.
Fifth fret.
Yeah.
You can hear the rust on the strings.
Oh yeah. The strings are all the strings are rusty. And then it comes with this little switch here, little mini switch. It's a 3-way. So, and it's got this all original. I've never changed anything. The only thing I had that Wayne Brazel. No, I can't. He filed down the frets so they got lower and lower as you went. And supposedly that was so that you could lower the action really low and have it almost like you just blow on it and the string goes down. So I was trying to be the fastest guitar player in the world, and that was kind of a stupid pursuit. But the knobs are original. They've got these little rubber things on there to kind of keep you. They spin though, so that kind of defeats the purpose. But it was supposed to be so if your hands were sweaty or something, or you could do this thing. So it's supposed to be kind of a single coil, probably a coil tap on this pickup here, and then if you go one more, it's like, what the heck is that? So here's the full pickup. Coil, the mid position. And then I never use that. But I played this guitar a lot with Malachi. This is my main act. So if I find pictures of me from the 78 or 79, 80, 81, 82, I'm probably playing that guitar. And people are probably upset that I traded a Gibson Les Paul, vintage Gibson Les Paul for that. But it wasn't. It was a 72 Les Paul custom, so it had gold everywhere. And like that one, you can look at it and the gold is corroded because my sweat is so acid. I never get guitars with gold. It's past midnight in Holland, so yeah, Becker's just like getting ready for bed. So, Provo Star, hey, Provo Star's here. Bob Schumann's here. Hey, good to see you. Yes, that case is total avocado. Very, very 70s. Yeah, and that guitar was made in Japan. All right, so I don't know what Alex is bringing me next. So what the premise here is that Alex is bringing me a random guitar, and I'm supposed to tell a story about it. Oh yeah, and that guitar got Phelan's Music, which was in Carmel, Indiana, and which is now the Carmel Music Center. And crazy, I just was there today via Google Street View, and like Carmel's completely different. The Phelan's, the music store, is still there, although it's a double wide now. They bought the store next door. But there's like the parking lot's gone, and there's this giant building that looks like something out of Paris. Oh my goodness, yeah. So this thing.
That's a cool story.
Yeah, this one.
Keep in mind, I think one important thing to remember is that you're like almost 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
Guitar.
Yeah, I know. It makes me look like a little boy.
Yeah.
So, one of the things we do every year generally is we didn't do it last year, but is we go to the NAMM show, and I watched one year. I'd just seen the movie No Country for Old Men, and Carter Burwell. I mean, I didn't remember hearing any music in the whole movie.
There isn't any, yeah.
And except at the end credits, there's something I said, wow, that sounds like a baritone acoustic. And it might have just been tuned down acoustic or something, but it just sounded really rich and deep and serious as a heart attack. And so I thought, you know what, I want to get a baritone. And I went on the web, and sure enough, they existed. Alvarez made one. I went to Bob Taylor at Taylor Guitars, and I said, hey, are you going to make a baritone guitar? You know, and he goes, no, we're not going to make a baritone guitar. And then the next year they had two of them. But Bob kept doing that to me. I think he was getting his ideas for new guitars from me. I asked him if he was going to do ukuleles. He said no. What was the other one? Baritones, ukuleles.
You asked about...
No.
You asked about nylons.
Nylon, right.
Oh, the tuners are just too expensive.
Yeah, he said...
They're like $300 per tuner, and it's just not worth it at cost for us.
Because the quality of tuners that he wanted to use on the nylon. I also said slot head.
You said slot head.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, not doing a slot head.
Yeah. So, and then the next year at the NAMM show, they had them out there.
Yeah. I can vouch for you on this one. Yeah. This is I was there when you asked Bob Taylor, hey, you're going to do this? Yeah. It was nylon first, then it was slotted, because it was like, well, you've already broken the nylon thing, so all you have to do is slot head.
Yeah, slot head.
He was like, no, we're not doing slot heads. And the next year it was slot heads. Then you said baritone, and the next year there was a baritone. Then you said Weisenborn, and he didn't do a Weisenborn.
Yeah, he didn't do
Weisenborn. That's kind of a niche market.
Yeah. But I did say ukuleles, and they said, no, we're not going to do this. We're not really in that market because, and you were probably working the show, and so you weren't there when I asked, but they just said, no, we don't want, this, we're not known for that. And then they came out with them, and they were kind of promotional, I think, more than anything. So and the funny thing was I just assumed that with Taylor, it was like a 2-year process to come up with new instruments, right? And so I assumed in every one of those cases that they came out with something a year later, after I asked them, I had just assumed that they were in the process of developing it, and they just couldn't tell me, because then I would say, oh, they're coming out with one, they could tell. But when I asked them like a few years ago, I said, well, how long does it take for you to design a product and get it to market? They said, oh, about 6 months. Then I realized, wait a minute, maybe they were getting the idea. Maybe it was one of those things where if enough people ask for it, they develop it, at the NAMM show in particular. So So I also went to the Martin booth at the NAMM show, which is the Taylor booth they have their own room. All 4 walls are theirs. The Martin booth is right in the middle of all sorts of mess and chaos. And I went there and I started talking to someone. Hey, do you know you guys have any plans to make a baritone? Because I walked the display and I didn't see any baritones. And I said, you guys have any plans on it? And they said, no, we're not. I mean, no, they told me, yeah, actually, they are working on it. But, who would love to talk to you about it is this guy. And they said, he's here at the NAMM show. So I went and talked to the guy, and he was like really stoked to hear that I was interested in a baritone. And I told him why I wanted one, and would love to, get a Martin one. If you guys build one, I would love to get it. And so we kind of kept emailing each other, about every 6 months I'd email him, hey, what's going on? He'd email me back, oh, we're making progress and everything. And then he finally emailed me and said, hey, I want to get your opinion on something. I said, of course. He said, I want to send you a prototype and you just play it and let us know any changes you would make in it, any opinions you have on it. And so they sent me this guitar. The cool thing, it says prototype on the inside. And I never sent it back. They sent me a bill and I just paid the bill. I was like, yeah, you're not getting this back. And they don't make them anymore. They made them for a while. I forget the model number because it's not in here.
That one just says prototype, right? Yeah. And it's got a pickup in it too, which is
it's
cool.
It's got a nice pickup in it with a microphone and a saddle and a mixer underneath here so I can blend, and it's got a blend and a volume. But yeah, I've used this on a lot of stuff, particularly movies or Western stuff. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll save that low string, that low note. Maybe I'll put... Save it for that magical moment. When you can reveal that it's actually a lower guitar than everybody thinks it is. But it sounds great. So that's a B chord right there. A fourth below a normal E chord.
I actually want to, next time I do like one of the next record we work on with Paul, I want to use this on it. That'd be great. Great for the kind of Western thing we're doing.
I used it on... Oh, I can't tell you what I used it on. But I used this on it. This guitar bow thing, which I still haven't really gotten down. And see, it doesn't work on coated strings. It works on the uncoated strings. And then it gets rosin everywhere. I feel for violin players or string players because they always have rosin on their fingers. Sticky. So sticky. Oh, you had the PRS. Is that an electric baritone or the PRS 277? PRS 277? Is that acoustic or electric? Electric. Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah. I remember that thing. I've seen that before. It's funny because I have my PRS tuned to open C, so I got baritone strings on it. In fact, Alex is probably bringing that out next. I don't know
which one.
The Paul Reed Smith. Were you just getting ready to grab that?
No, I was actually trying to think about what I want to bring out next.
Yeah, there's my favorite slide guitar player is Sonny Landreth. Look him up. I'll spell his name out so you can find it. But then there's this other kid named Landreth. I thought he was related. Joey Landreth, yeah. And he's amazing. Slide is such a musical, beautiful thing. Oh yeah, this is fun. Sonny Landreth, and then Joey Landreth is no relation. But because Sonny played slide, and it was like, oh, there's a guitar player named Landreth that plays slide. Joey got into slide. Speaking of slide. So Beth and I were in Ventura, just kind of on a getaway, and I go guitar. Every time I go to a city, I always go to all the guitar stores in the city if I can. Usually while Beth's at the beach. So, and I was at just a pure ukulele store in Ventura. That's all they sell is ukuleles. And I was in there looking at some ukes, and I didn't really see anything. What I wanted was a Gibson, or an old, not an old, but a Martin soprano ukulele, made out of koa, like I'd always seen, or I think mahogany is what it's made out of. And so but when I'm in that all ukulele store, there's a lady there that's looking to sell some ukuleles to them, and they're not interested. And as we're leaving, I said, well, I might be interested. We're going to go have lunch over here if you want to bring some ukuleles over there. I've got a little bit of cash. And so Beth and I went to lunch, and this lady showed up with some ukuleles, and she pulled out this. And this is a long neck soprano. Really unusual. I've not really been able to find. It says Vineyard. It may be like a Christian guitar maker, but I don't think they're around anymore. It's got the 1-to-1 gear ratio tuners, which you can tighten, which makes it a little easier to get it in tune. I'm not a big fan of those. I like actually having gear tuners on everything, but you can't always have your way. But I was in the process of buying a soprano uke, so I didn't need two, but I offered her $60 and she said, I'll take it. And I'm like, you're kidding. She goes, no, that's great. And so the case it came with was actually probably worth $100. So, but the case it came with would only fit a long neck soprano ukulele, which I'd never seen another one before. So I took this to my guitar tech, and I spent $60 on this, but I spent $175 having to make it fretless. So because I wanted to have what like an oud. Kind of a miniature oud sound, kind of a thin oud sound. And I was messing around with it, and I realized it sounded like a koto too. Was it? No, I had a milk. Oh, is Josh here? Hey, Josh. How's your dad doing? Josh's dad was in the hospital with COVID. Dave Flay.
Oh.
Anyway, that's pretty fun. Here,
I like this thing.
I've used that on a couple things. It's more if I start doing some scoring, which I'm working towards getting some opportunities. Yeah, it's cool. Take it, and I probably could have. I almost went. I think for $35, I could have gotten the tool that's for taking out frets from all parts. If you want to get guitar tools, Bruce, you probably know about all parts. Huh?
Stumac.
Oh, that's right. Allparts.com. You're right. Stumac is where I was going to get it. Stumac. Yeah. MAC, right? .com?
Yep. STEW.
Yep. Yep. Stumac's a great place to get
You need
guitar tools. So I was going to get, like, for $35, I was going to get the pliers to pull out the frets myself, and then I would just fill it and then sand it and all that. But I decided to go ahead and let Norik do it. I was a little worried for friends of mine that have businesses in COVID. I was worried that they might be, not making any money, so I kind of wanted to give them some work. So I gave them a couple guitars to work on. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's your dad. Yeah, he was in ICU like 10 days or something. So, and it's funny because I'm not on Facebook very much, and so and then I have so many friends, and it's just random what shows up on my feed. I wish there was a way you could turn it on. Oh, well, maybe it would be annoying if you just said everybody's post, because some people post a lot. Yeah, it's a surprise show, basically. Guitar Roulette. I don't know what Alex is going to bring me. And then I'm supposed to tell us. The idea is see if I have a story about the guitar. I'm wondering if he's got one that he's got a story about. Now he's got a couple of my guitars at his house, so yeah, Dave was in ICU, which is pretty serious. So, but I'm glad he's doing better. Yeah, and Josh, it is an interesting sound. I like I said, I'm hoping to get some work writing some scores for some different things, maybe games, things like that. So in those scenarios, I might be pulling out some stuff. I got, oh, did you go hunting for that?
Yeah.
It's funny. I just had this out.
Did you really?
Yes, I just had this out. There's a new game that I'm going to work on, and for two composers, and it's basically kind of like drug cartel, Narcos, Mexico kind of thing. And so I've got to get a couple more instruments. I'm going to get a Quattro. Have you seen one of those?
Is that the bass thing?
No, I'm not going to get one of those. No. Because I just take up so much room. It's giant. It's like
mounting things to the ceiling.
Yeah, right? And they would just vibrate every time I play music. Yeah. No, it's like a small one of these. It's like a little one.
Oh, cool.
If you look them up, they kind of have a cool body shape. I'm just gonna get. I forget the company that made them, but it's kind of a standard. They're kind of a standard. They make a lot of instruments, but it has a pickup in it. It's 10 strings. So this is like a 12-string down an octave, but it's only the top 5 strings, but it's still pairs, so it's 10 strings. But I had this out because I was doing a demo of a bunch of different instruments for the composer, so that I could say, okay, here's basically it's a way to get work, and to kind of curry favor with people you work for. I said, okay, this is a Bajo Sexto. So B-A bass 6, which is funny because it's not 6, it's 5. But it's called a Bajo Sexto. And it's often used as like like for chords. Let's see, what am I doing? And it's also used for bass lines. Not perfectly in tune, but it does have a pickup in it, so I can do some weird stuff with it, put it through effects, and make some weird sounds. See, it's just hard to remember that. And it's only 5 strings. Oh, no, wait. I want to go... what am I doing? Yeah, so A minor. Yeah. Weird. And you don't have... Well, I went with Jorge to get this.
Yes.
I had to go to East LA, and I had to bring a friend with me that could interpret because I don't speak Spanish. And I don't remember what I paid for this. It wasn't very much, but I'm sure I paid more than it was worth. But they probably saw me coming. But they had prices on everything, so it wasn't like I wasn't. But it's new. It was new. I have tape on the back of the neck that I just put on there to write the names of the strings. But I can remember it's just the top 5 strings. So A, down an octave, A, D, kind of, G, B, and E, right? Yeah. Bajo Sexto. So that may get some use on a Narcos-like game. Let's see. What else? Yeah, it's not quite a 12-string. It's like a 12-string down an octave. There is another guitar like that. Anyway, what else is going on? All right, let's see. Yeah, that bridge is kind of crazy, isn't it? That bridge is interesting. Oh yeah, I think this was a birthday gift.
Was it?
Yeah.
Mom killed that one.
Yeah. So this, I kind of had a rule for a long time that if
The $300 rule?
yeah, the $300 rule. If there was an instrument at a store that was $300 and I didn't have one, then I would pick it up. So this is a 50s, maybe a 40, late 40s.
Yeah, it's 48, 49.
Yeah. Somebody drilled their, what's that called?
Embossing?
No,
Etching.
Etched their, I guess, their driver's license number or something like that. Some kind of number there, and they also did it, but there was two places here. I don't know if it's the same number. Yeah, it's the same number.
One of the things I immediately love about this, which you can't tell because probably a lot of people think it's yellow, get it close to the camera so they can see that it's... It's like countertop finish.
Yeah. And then the back is just
raw wood.
Yeah, I think it's just pine. No, it's probably... Is that maple? It's not heavy enough. Yeah, it's probably alder. I always wondered, like, if I take the pickup out of this, can I put it in my telly and make it a vintage telly? like a late 40s, early 50s telly? So generally, I tune at open G. What do you tune yours, Alex?
I do open E. I like E.
I like E, okay.
But you have to remember the records I grew up listening to were all like Bon Iver and stuff, which is all like E6.
Well, if I did like open D, I gotta be careful. I don't want to butcher my nails. So if I go open D, it would be D, A, D. So this is actually a Hawaiian lap steel. No, this is a Fender lap steel. But I like, let's see, what am I? I think I have a patch for lap steel. There we go. Huh.
Record tables?
Oh, yeah, you're right. A little too much reverb. But I'm tuned to an open, let's see. Oops, I went the wrong way. There we go. I'm tuned to open D, and that way it's a little bit easier to transition to Hawaiian tuning. What am I doing, Alex?
Trying to go back to ABS.
So okay, that would be D, this would be G, and this would be A. I'm bending behind the slide. But then if I want to tune that A string up to B, now I have a D6 chord. And that is very idiomatically Hawaiian. If I just go up and get a 4 chord. Kind of fun, but that's Hawaiian, yep. You know what? Hawaiian lap steel. Bruce asked, "What's the difference between a Hawaiian lap steel and one that's not?" All of the lap steels that came out in the '40s were all Hawaiian lap steel. They were the first ones to use electric guitars.
Hawaiian lap steel or lap steel is the same term.
Yeah, it's the same instrument. So the tuning changes it. So, and I've used that a lot on TV shows. Say the characters are in Hawaii or something like that. I pull that thing out and everybody's like, "Oh, well, that's perfect." That and the ukulele, and you got a Hawaiian track. All you need are some bamboo sticks to beat together, and you're pretty good. Don ho. Yeah, it is a beautiful sound, isn't it? Something about it. Oh, okay. This is yeah. This is also a birthday present.
Sort of.
Yeah. So yeah, Beth bought the lap steel for me. She also bought for me a Telecaster, and I picked it out. We'd gone to Guitar Center. I picked it out. She bought it for me for my birthday, and and then I was at my friend's store in Hollywood, and I had an American Telly, and I played this one, and I went, "Oh my gosh, it's got a great country sound." Let's see here. Let me go back here. Let me change this. I think I've got some. Yeah. I haven't done my pedal steel licks on. Yeah. Right now the action on this is a little low, and I try to adjust the neck, and it's not really helping much. So there may be an issue with this thing, but this is not a 54 Telly. It's a 54 reissue, and it's Japanese. And but the Japanese are really pretty darn precise. This thing's very close. In fact, like the American Fender factory, I think it did a 52 reissue and a 55 or 57. And the only difference between like a 52 and a 54 was that the 52 had 7 screws, and the other one had
Blackguard.
Yeah, 5 and the Blackguard. Right. So this one has 5 screws. I think later ones had 7 screws because the pick guards. I don't know. Anyway, Alex, you want to play this for a second for him and talk to him a little bit? And I got to make a phone call real quick.
Yes. Well, actually, this is perfect time because this is the guitar I'm most on.
That's his favorite guitar.
This is my favorite guitar in the entire collection. But I have distinct memories of this specific guitar. This is the guitar that I saw that I was like, that I want to do what he's doing. So the reason I'm a guitar player is probably because of this guitar and him. But he was playing a show in, I think it was Laguna. He was with his band at the time. And he had this on stage. They were playing on the back. It was an outdoor show, and they were playing on the back of like a flatbed semi in the parking lot of a surf shop in Laguna. And then we just, he was playing this. He had the Ricky 330-12. And then he had his Matchless. He has a Clubman 35. It's a like teal, aqua colored Matchless. It's awesome. On top of his Sears Twin 12 cab. And I just remember like, okay, that is cool. And I can tell you, the crazy thing is I probably was 3 at the time. 3, maybe 4, and I have distinct memories of exactly these instruments, exactly that amp. It was the Hotbox. He had a Matchless Hotbox for pedals. He had, I think, an Akai Headrush for his delay. And they were playing kind of like Americana, sort of country rock. And I just remember, like, that was like, oh yeah, that's cool. I like, just my obsession with gear began right then and there. Get it in tune and I'll play it for you because this is my favorite guitar. I can play this guitar all day long. Problem with Telly is no good place for headstock tuner. Yeah, so this is definitely in answer to I'm reading P. Russ. No, this is not the lexicon. This is Amplitude we're using. It's just a VST plugin. This guitar. This is like one of my personal. This is I think my favorite guitar in this entire collection, which is crazy because it's not like the fanciest or the prettiest. It's just kind of like this is my favorite guitar. I'll always, anytime I come over and like house sit for them, this is the guitar I just go grab and sit on the couch and play. Oh man! Oh boy! This is from Eric Jensen, correct?
Yeah, Eric gave it to me. He gave me a couple guitars. No, maybe I don't know. I bought pedals from him, but I think guitars he just gave me.
And it's up to A, right?
I think. Yeah, I forgot to. I was like, what can I mess you up with?
What can I mess him up with? Yeah, that's good. I was just telling them about all my sentimental stories with the Telly. It's the guitar that
So Mercy Miles.
Yep.
The band. Laguna.
Yep. On the back of the semi. It was that the Ricky.
So this kind of got almost a ukulele tuning. It's opposite of the baritone. The baritone was down a fourth. This is up a fourth.
Nuts.
And it's also really small. So it's like it's not just a guitar tuned up. It's actually really tiny. So the fretboard is totally different. It's got these kind of blade pickups. It's just weird to think of. It's like. Is that
Whole Lot of Love?
Whole Lot of Love. There's got to be another better name for it now. Whole other love. Anyway, that's the guitar for dogs to hear.
Yeah, right. That's up there.
Yeah, but if I were to do something like, because it's got these blade pickups, I think it's got a pretty good out of phase sound, kind of glassy. So if I did like a sound that was more
Ambient.
Yeah, more of an ambient sound. Let's see, clean, like this kind of thing. And then what's the tempo? Let me bring this up. Let's go. Oh no. Zero. Sorry. It's like an episode of CSI. Let's get some more feedback going. I think I've used this on Apex Legend before to get really high stuff. I get this windows in the right order. But yeah. So that would be a high A. That would be like playing at the 17th fret on the guitar. So if I go to the 17th fret, that's a D. That's like playing at the 22nd fret. But I could go even higher. Yeah. Kind of cool. Like that would be my use for this.
Yeah, that kind of weird effect. Where did you get this from?
The closet. That bag is hanging up in the closest closet.
Ah, yes.
I'm kind of shocked you didn't see it before I did.
I forget a lot of these things, to be honest.
CRS.
This one's iconic. Tough choices.
Pepper Jackie asked something. Sorry. Should we jam on something? Well, yeah, we probably need to get a couple acoustics and we can do that. Where did Pepper say that? Where's Pepper? Oh, I see. All right, I see that. Yeah, we can end with that. Whenever we end. We're losing people. Oh wow.
This one's just a great story.
Yeah,
and I've heard this story a dozen times before.
Yeah, this one.
You actually were able to acquire that guitar.
Yeah, it's. I don't need to plug it in. This is a mid '60s Gibson 175 single pickup. It's funny because Pat Metheny had a 175, and he took this pickup out and covered it, so he turned it into this guitar. He probably would have liked to have had this guitar. I've known this guitar since I was 13 years old. But I didn't get it until just a few years ago. And if the house is on fire, this is probably one of the guitars I would get. It's probably because it's not replaceable. But yeah, so this was I had like every junior high kid, I desperately wanted to be popular, and well, maybe not every junior high kid. But I was lame and I wanted to be popular, and so for some reason this kid. Stan Walker was hanging out with me. He was on the basketball team, and if you're from Indiana, anyone who's on the basketball team is cool. And so he was hanging out. We're having a good time. We're having fun. We've become friends and everything. And he invites me to this Christian meeting thing, and I'm like, I'm an atheist, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to hang out with a bunch of Jesus freaks. And so I go there, and it's funny because I know exactly what I played on this guitar the first time I played it. but I go to the meeting, and it starts out with singing, like most kind of Christian gatherings. And the guy gets up to lead worship songs. Kumbaya was the hit of the time. It only takes a spark, that kind of stuff. And that's what I should have had Oblio do a cover of. Was Only Takes a Spark. That would have been awesome. And so, but the worship leader was playing this guitar, so he had my attention. I don't know what they talked about during the bulk of the meeting, but it was a big youth meeting, a lot of kids there. But yeah, I went up afterwards and I said, "Hey, that's a really nice guitar." And he said, "Oh, thanks." I said, "Can I play it?" And Paul, the guy whose guitar it was and leading worship, he was like, "I don't know. I mean, I'm just a 13-year-old pimply, greasy kid." And so he's like, "Oh, okay." And as soon as I had it in my hand, I played Wes Montgomery's. And immediately he was like, "Oh, shoot, you're better than me." And he was like, "Okay, you can keep playing it." So I just was like messing around and playing it. And I gave him my phone number. And basically one thing led to another. And he ultimately led me to the Lord. So this guitar kind of led me to Jesus. This is my part of my testimony. And then I always told Paul, don't ever sell it to anybody else. I mean, if you're going to keep it in the family, I'm totally fine with that. But if you ever want to get rid of this guitar, you let me know. And probably 10 years ago, maybe?
You still in the apartment?
Yeah, he had a Gibson amp, too, an old Gibson amp that his dad bought his mom this guitar back in 1965. And bought the amp to go with it. And the amp was in the basement when it got flooded. Fortunately, the guitar was not. It still smells like I remember it smelling from back in the day. Yeah, it shows originally bought in, looks like it's from Milwaukee, I think. Yeah, Milwaukee, Wisconsin is where this was bought. It's not all original, sadly. I think the bridge is different. I think originally it had a wood bridge, and the tuners are not original, and the pickguard's missing. I've tried to find. I actually found the pickguard for this on eBay. They wanted $800 for it. Oops, wrong way. They wanted $800 for the pickguard, and I was like, I just don't want it that bad. I don't even have the hardware for it, but at some point maybe I'll do that. But I kind of like it this way, and it's easier if I want to play acoustic. To mic it up, because I can mic it down here or I can mic it up here. But usually we'd mic it, I don't know where I would mic it for this kind of thing. But yeah, this is more of a sentimental guitar than anything. I don't really use it a lot, but it plays like butter. I mean, it's super easy to play.
Yeah, it's a nice one. It's a great guitar. Really narrow neck on it.
Super narrow neck. Yeah, very small neck on it. Oh, it's further away than it looks. Yeah, this is a triple neck lap steel. It's not really a lap steel. It's got legs. It weighs a ton. That's probably alder too, or ash. And this is from the 50s. And it's 8 strings, so it's 3 times 8, it's 24 strings over there. And it's not tuned to anything right now. Normally you would, with a triple neck, I don't know what you would, you probably do a D9 tuning and a G6, and I don't know what you would do on the third. Maybe a C6 or a C7. A G9 would have a 7th in it. You might have something that's tuned like a guitar, but with an extra 2 low notes or something. I don't know. I don't know what, a couple of these tuners don't work very well, but I have it out because I was working on this game, and I thought maybe we'd need it for something, and so far we haven't. So I probably is going to go back in the closet soon. It's just something to trip over and hit guitars on. Let's see. Did I get any? This is not curing my tinnitus. Uh-oh. Oh, that. Sorry, AJ. The high guitar stuff. Oh, can I? Oh, shoot. Yeah, I can do that. I'll do the. I have to change the tempo, I think, but. I like it faster. A guitar player named Albert Lee was the first to ever that I ever heard do this, long before the Edge ever did. Go 0. And then, yeah, I don't need as many repeats. I can just go with one. This is just one repeat. Get rid of the delay or the reverb for now. Why am I getting 2? Oh, I see. This one's also set to 0. Okay. Now. So now I'm just got a dotted eighth. So what I want to do is change a tempo here. So I have to create a tempo. Let's see. I want a fast tempo, like 150 maybe. Albert Lee would do some crazy stuff with it. Listen to the song. He uses it on, the first time I ever heard it was Emmylou Harris's Luxury Liner. And I don't know what year that was, but I'm pretty sure that predates, and I doubt that the Edge ever listened to Emmylou Harris or to Albert Lee. But let's see now, if you... That's what you want me to do, the harmonize. Let me change picks. Hey, David Sillers. What's going on? Now the funny thing is that, like, so I'm just playing without the, I'm playing G major scale, like this is. Okay, so what that is a dotted eighth note, and I'm playing this note, and it's echoing that note after I play this note, and then I'm just going alternating scale tones. So without is essentially what I'm playing. And it sounds like...
It's impressive that you can actually play it.
Well, that's because that's how I thought he did it. I had no idea what a delay unit was. So when I was trying to figure out Albert Lee's guitar solo, I went... I was like literally playing every note, not realizing he was only playing half of them. He has a song called Country Boy that somebody covered, but he did it, he wrote it. And it's funny because it's called Country Boy, and he's from London, but he's a great country player, and he lives in Santa Barbara. I met him at the NAMM show one year, and I wanted to. I had learned how to play. I was like. Shoot, what is it? I can't remember. Anyway, it used to be one of my hip pocket tunes. I would play at like Guitar Centers, so I would get service. But I had it memorized, and I was nervous, and I wanted to play it for him, and we didn't have an amp, so he put the headstock of his. He gave me his guitar. He put the headstock on his temple. And I didn't want to waste his time, so I played it faster than the record. And he looks at me and goes, "Yeah, you got it." It was pretty cool. Pretty fun moment. I have an autograph, actually, that I got that day. Yeah, so that's the dotted eighth guitar trick. Yeah. Graham Parsons. I don't know. Maybe Graham Parsons covered it, but it wasn't Graham Parsons that had the hit with it. It was. I'm just. It's like. I ain't nothing but a. Oh yeah.
It's not Hyatt, is it? Wasn't John Hyatt?
No, John Hyatt. No, it was a pretty big country artist like Randy Travis. It was someone like that, but it wasn't Randy Travis.
Earl Skaggs or
Ricky Skaggs, I think maybe it was Ricky Skaggs. I ain't nothing but a city slicker. I ain't nothing but a cotton picker, digging out country. Show me where I start. Draw my horse and cart. I'm just a country boy. Anyway, it's been a long time since I played it. All right. Woo, it's been about, how long has it been? How long have it been? An hour and 15 minutes. They wanted us to jam. You want to grab a acoustic?
Yeah, what should I grab?
You pick. I have a feeling maybe I know which one you'll pick.
What do you think you know?
I think I know.
You think you know?
Oh, wait, I may not. No, now I think about it. So let's see what else is going on.
I mean, I know what I'm grabbing.
Country Boy was written by Graham Parsons. I didn't know that. There were covers on there though, because he did do a. He did do he did do a. What's the name? A Dire Straits song on the album too. Yeah, Ricky Skaggs. Yeah, so that's who it was. Country Boy Ricky Skaggs song. Tony Colton, Albert Lee, and Ray Smith were the writers. Still together. Every time
Is this what you thought I was going to grab?
Yeah, I after you said you don't know.
It was between this and the folk singer. This was easier to get to the folk singer.
Oh, folk singer. Oh, yeah. It's easier to play too.
What do you mean?
What's that, babe?
I said, do you want me to grab my kazoo?
If you want to be live on my live stream. I should have told her.
Has she ever been on the line? Has anyone ever seen what Mom looks like?
I think she's been on once. She came in one time, didn't know I was on. She was dressed though. So I've got my 70s Martin. He's playing the 1924 Martin, which we're going to have a 100-year birthday party for it in 3 years. All original on that thing. It's been repaired though. It was crushed and was put back together again. Do I have a favorite guitar? I mean, electric-wise, live, I play that Strat a lot. It's usually packed away because I take it with me live everywhere. And I have lots of Strats in my studio. But my 2000 Fender Strat, nothing fancy. Easily replaceable. Kind of good to get attached to a guitar. It's easy to replace. This is kind of my go-to acoustic. Can I hear you?
Huh?
Let's see.
You're trying to scoot back so that it's not just me, or just not just you?
Not just me, yeah. Am I dragging it? Oh, this thing. Ah, look at that. I wedged that. I don't even need this out right now. All right. I don't know if this helps or not. Yeah. that guitar. Trying to go through all the styles there. A minor. What are people saying? Are we losing you?
No, the reggae gained 50 people.
Yeah, it's the greatest jam session on planet Earth. I don't know about that. No, we're not. We're kind of keeping you. We're keeping you entertained. Let us entertain you. Hey. All right. Well, we're gonna. I gotta get some work done. Alex came by. His part of the building was getting fumigated or something, right?
Yep.
So. Anyway. All right. So I will see you on Monday. I told you I would do this. So we may do this again. There's a lot more instruments to go through. It'll depend on Alex to remember which ones we didn't do this time. We did. Anyway, you know what I mean. But I'll see you on Monday. We're going to continue with the pentatonic. Pentatonic and diatonic scales on the D form now. It's the last one. We have one more to do. And then I shot a video today, but I'm still trying to figure out if I haven't watched it yet, so I don't know if I like it. But I'm going to do a video on the 5 pentatonic shapes. I've never done one. I just realized that on Monday or Tuesday when we did the live stream, I didn't realize I hadn't done a video on the 5 pentatonics. We've talked about it in a live stream, but I've never uploaded a video. So I'm trying to make it. I've got all the diagrams all ready to go. I just need to say it the way I want it to be said. And then I invariably will record it and go, oh, I forgot to mention that. And I'm like, dang it, So I try not to have a list of things to say because then I keep looking down at it. It's not very professional. But I may edit, do it that way and then just edit. like there'll be gaps or stuff. But anyway, I hope you all are well. Take care. God bless you, and we'll see you on Monday next week. Bye-bye. Say bye, Alex.
Bye, everyone.
Amen.